When I was a child, I often looked down on the adults in movies. Why didn't they just use words to explain misunderstandings? It was only after I grew up, staring blankly at a chat window, that I finally understood. When he was young, Bart had many questions. Why is the sky blue? Why are people yellow? Why is Dad's leg broken?
Why did you leave your toy car on the stairs?
Why is blood red?
Why do you ask?
It's coming out your ear.
Ow!
In order to have the energy to take care of the injured Homer, Marge temporarily sent Bart to live with his grandfather. Abraham Simpson was still quite young, and his thinking was not yet hardened by old age. When he saw Bart playing absent-mindedly with toy cars, he immediately thought of the steamboat car in the garage. Although Abe didn't really know how to entertain a child, he truly doted on Bart, even letting him sit on his lap and drive together.
I wish this day would never end!
Time never stops for any moment. It brings people growth, yet never points out a clear direction. Regarding Bart secretly driving, Marge was always firmly against it, even bluntly saying that the time would be better spent in tutoring classes. Old Abe was very dissatisfied, stating that a child's childhood should be joyful. But Bart had no right to resist. He hugged his books and sat down at the desk. His progress was slow, while his sister Lisa could read it fluently after just one glance. Bart felt both sad and frustrated, yet when he tried to show his talent to his mother, what he received was disappointment. Marge and Homer failed to see the childlike joy and creativity in his graffiti, seeing only anger at Bart for ruining the kitchen. This left young Bart deeply confused. They were both drawing. Why was his sister always praised, while he was only scolded? At last, he found a chance to prove himself. Meanwhile, Homer finally finished cleaning up the kitchen, just as he was about to rest and grab a beer.
I got gumption!
Faced with Bart's repeated troublemaking, decided to seek help from a parenting expert. The expert immediately identified the issue. Bart simply wanted to prove himself and gain his family's attention and affection. Following the expert's advice, Homer decides to patiently discover Bart's good points. At the dinner table, the whole family is happy again because of Lisa's award.
Student of the month! Wow!
Seeing the family praise his sister once again, Bart grew angry. He had been in school for so long, yet had never received any reward. So he made a certificate himself, writing on it, "My son is the best," hoping Homer would stick it on the car. Follow the expert's advice. Homer immediately agreed, but when he got to the car and saw Lisa's official award, he grew disgusted with Bart's misspelled note and casually tossed it onto the seat. Eventually, it drifted out the window, swallowed by dirty water. From then on, Bart no longer expected Homer's affection. Time came to Bart's 12th birthday, yet he couldn't feel happy at all. The wishes he heard most that day were, "You need to grow up quickly. You need to learn to be sensible." He hadn't heard the words, "I hope you'll always be happy." For a very long time, Bart couldn't stand the oppressive atmosphere any longer and walked away. That night, Bart didn't go home. He wandered through the streets and alleys of Springfield, smashing every attention-grabbing streetlight he passed.
Hey, you missed one!
Nope, can't do it. My grandpa lives there.
Bart went to the nursing home. Bart told Grandpa Abe that he'd smashed a streetlight because he was in a bad mood. Unlike parents who loved lecturing, old Abe adored Bart's mischief, believing this was exactly how a boy should be. More importantly, he remembered that it was Bart's birthday. He had specially bought him a bicycle as a gift. Bart was overjoyed, riding the bike through the streets in pure happiness. As time passed, Bart grew into a young man. By now, he was used to being ignored by his family. Neither of Bart's parents was home that night. Bart invited a group of friends to throw a party. Just as everyone was having fun, Bart suddenly sensed something wrong. Seeing smoke upstairs, he rushed to check. What he found upon opening the door shocked him.
Are you crazy? What if the cops come? You're here too?
Yeah.
A dazed Homer began pouring out his feelings, saying that when Bart was born, he was terrified because it meant Homer had become an adult, someone who had to shoulder family responsibilities. So he deliberately ignored Bart, simply to escape the anxiety of growing up. Bart didn't get angry. He opened his heart to his aging father. But just as the moment grew warm,
And I'm glad I have one kid who's never gonna go anywhere or do anything.
Damn it, Homer. You ruin everything.
Bart stormed out of the house in anger. The night breeze carried a chill, tears welling in his eyes. He decided to visit old Abe, the grandfather who had loved him unconditionally from the start.
Grandpa, what would you say if you were here right now?
Find what you love and follow it to glory.
Yes.
Inspired by Grandpa, Bart found his true calling, such as bicycle stunt competitions. If he won just one more round, he would become the champion. It would be his one and only achievement, and performed his signature move.
I'm doing it. Finally, I'm me. Finally, out of Lisa's shadow. No!
Bart lost the championship. The spotlight that should have belonged to him was once again taken by Lisa for saving someone. Years later, That was when Milhouse Van Houten came to visit, inviting him to his graduation party. Since many hadn't seen each other in a long time, many classmates showed up for the occasion. Bart attended as promised.
Bart, I was getting worried.
I'm your oldest buddy.
Milhouse's parents were delighted and wanted to say a few kind words and offer a toast. But Milhouse found it irritating. What he didn't realize was that this kind of attentive care was exactly what Bart had always longed for. As Milhouse argued with his parents, Lisa gently stepped forward, softly easing the tension. Milhouse was deeply grateful.
Ugh, I'm not even the best Simpson at my best friend's party. Do you know what it's like to be second best at anything?
Listen here, Bart Simpson. I am sick and tired of you blaming me for every setback you have ever had. And you have talents too, you idiot.
You think I'm an artist?
Lisa's words awakened Bart. He decided to begin a new chapter in life. When Bart appeared again, the air of decadence around him had vanished. He was now a bicycle modification master. At this time, Nelson Muntz came to see him, suddenly apologizing to Bart, and even offering money as compensation for childhood bullying. The reason was that he was dating Lisa, and feared Bart might interfere. Lisa cautiously approached as well, apologizing for everything over the years, and hoping Bart wouldn't oppose their relationship. Bart laughed it off. What grudges could siblings really have? He even thanked Lisa for her reminder back then. Without it, he would never have become an artist.
Oh,
You weren't supposed to see.
well, I'm glad I did.
Just then, Nelson was struck with shock. He noticed that the signature on Bart's graffiti belonged to a viral, top-tier graffiti artist online. It turned out Bart truly had found his own path and become an outstanding artist. As children, we always longed to grow up. We never imagined that growing up would turn into this. We once believed adulthood could solve all problems, only to realize later that adulthood is where all problems begin. That child who once wondered why adults stayed silent, couldn't understand why misunderstandings in movies, things that could be cleared up with a single sentence, were always kept bottled up. Just like Bart in childhood, he didn't understand that Homer's neglect wasn't a lack of love, but helplessness in the face of becoming a father. He didn't understand that Marge's strictness wasn't coldness, but anxiety hidden behind fear of him falling behind. Only after stepping into the adult world himself did he finally understand. Some silences are never indifference. They are the limits of language, the inability to express inner tenderness, confusion not even fully understood by oneself. Just as Bart later used graffiti to express himself, from longing for acceptance to learning self-reconciliation. When we stop clinging to momentary gains and losses, we learn to hear the unspoken words behind silence, to express tenderness within quiet, and to find an exit in hardship. And the true meaning of growth is precisely this journey, from questioning to understanding.